Okay. Okay, there we go. Party Ted. Oh, New Age is with us.
Dang, why aren't you playing Wizard Wars? What's wrong with you?
New Age.
What?
You're with us, New Age?
Or is that a different game?
What's up, Tippers? What is up? We are actually,
Nobody puts wizard in a corner.
Alright, so I'm just going
Lesson
to
one.
first attack you and see what you do.
hold on, just give me 1 second. I'm talking to a viewer really, just for a second. Tippers. Tippers actually wants to know if he can join us in the TeamSpeak server. I don't know if you guys are okay with viewers.
Everyone's welcome.
Everyone's welcome? Okay. So
Yes.
what is the...
we only have one rule, and that's don't be a dick.
Okay, yeah, Tippers, you can join. Any of you guys can join.
Everyone's welcome.
On TeamSpeak.
We are... I mean, we teach people how to play this game. It's hard.
Yeah, it is a challenging game. I've seen that right away, and that's kind of why I'm enjoying it so much. Okay, so I'm just going to type in the server to the chat really quick. Just give me a second. Trance Academy.
User entered your channel.
Okay, yeah, and it actually seems like a really cool idea because this is a really good game. I like it a lot better than Dota, and it's good that there's a place newer players can come and learn stuff because this game can be intimidating and it could scare people away.
Your mic's really quiet.
Oh, is my TeamSpeak mic's really quiet?
Yeah.
Huh.
I can hear you fine on the stream, but TeamSpeak. Don't know why.
I wonder if it's because. Man. I wonder if it's because of XSplit or the way my. I don't know.
It's all right. I turned you up manually.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because right now I'll figure that shit out. So yeah, I've been doing some like 1v1 duels, and I think personally I got a lot better over a short period of time. But the people I were playing, they were obviously beginners. So
they were what?
I said the people I was playing against were obviously beginners. Like because the game obviously runs on some sort of ELO system.
Yep, it does.
But yeah, I just I get really overwhelmed sometimes with the reacting to what the other player's doing to me in time to counter it, and my button presses. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I gotta learn. But yeah, like alright, that's cool as hell. Ming, are you in game or are you?
Bull, don't poke me! I'm gonna kill you. What?
Oh, Tiffers, are you in the TeamSpeak channel?
Hi, Tiffers. So you know, Tiffers, I'm gonna kill Soul, and it's kind of your fault. Alright, so again, I'm gonna attack you, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm... Okay, hold on.
Okay, so in theory, the defense that you're using is useful, but you're using it in a bad time.
In a generic way.
Yeah, it's like you want to place your defenses in reaction to what somebody's doing. If I'm hitting you with fireballs, then you cast a firewall back up and heal.
Okay.
Or if I'm casting a death beam, then you could just bubble, or you could just throw up a forward screen.
Okay.
Mostly what you're wanting to do with wards is you're wanting to block the status effects. Like, you're going to take more damage from fire because of your build, but that does not mean that you should ward fire all the time. In fact, I mean, Plus Death is kind of a hard build to go with because it's weak to fire. The reason that's a problem is because, like, you're incentivized to ward fire, but that leaves you vulnerable to cold and getting chilled. Like, just ward cold.
Okay. All right,
I mean,
okay.
ward fire.
Yeah, I've been doing... I've been doing kind of just like the generic turtle defense in duels. And,
That's...
I don't want to...
Well, I saw you, and you were using the, you were using that. You were using the screen and the storm. And it's good. It's especially useful against multiple opponents. But generally, you just cast a wall.
Just a wall? Okay.
If you cast the right wall, and then you back up and heal, then you're good. I have to back up further because I have so much plus shield. My walls wreck myself. But... Alright, so... when you cast a wall, if you're going to heal after casting the wall, then what you do is... As soon as you start casting the wall, start hitting WWW.
Okay, so...
Like,
okay.
as soon as you right-click, start hitting WWW.
Whoops. Okay. Hold on. And
Yeah, see, that was fast.
The big problem I was having, now I'm sitting here thinking about what my big issues were, especially 1v1, is, here, let me just, was, the react, okay, so it was either my first or, like, my second duel that I was in. You know, the guy wasn't very good. He was just doing generic stuff, but what he was doing was just, you know, he was, like, doing this and then immediately going into doing that, going into fire, going into water, and just constantly cycling through different sorts of attacks, and I just couldn't react fast enough to the chills and the burns and cleansing them and warding against them. It was
right. Low level play. Try this out. Try to kill me.
Try to kill you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you get me wet right there just so I couldn't use lightning to break through your wall? Like
I got you wet because it was fun.
Okay, all right. I didn't know. I didn't know
yeah.
I didn't know how intense the in-game chess thing gets in this game. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, it does. It. But in low-level play, it's pretty much as simple as if you get somebody wet and they're a noob, they're 90% of the time they're going to shock themselves.
Yeah.
So it's really useful to just get somebody wet in low-level play because they either don't notice it or they don't know how to cancel out of an ASF. Which, by the way, that's a really strong spell.
But
right,
yeah,
so
for the first 6 hours, I even installed this game. I was walking around. I was walking around like just walking around with drips on me, and I had no fucking idea what it was. So fire. Okay, so. Oh, and another question I had was, in honesty, is,
I'm always honest.
Okay. Are macros a big part of this game?
No.
No? Okay. Because
No.
I don't use them, and I don't know if I should be using them to be able to compete.
Did not. No, you should definitely not use macros. They will stunt your growth, basically. This game is largely about muscle memory. As you alluded to before, there's also that chess game or mind games that high-level players play against each other in 1v1 to trick them into dropping the right defense so that they can get them, right?
Yeah, like baiting them into doing something and then countering it.
Yeah. But really, like, it may feel weird at first with the way the control scheme is set up, with your 8 elements and having to type 3 of them to do a spell. It's superior. It's superior to any other control scheme.
Yeah, I'm a heavy.
It really is. It's amazing.
I'm a fighter player.
The people that originally developed Magicka, the original Magicka, were geniuses. Because it just works. You have tons of flexibility. You have 8 keys and 250 spells.
That's what it works out to, is 250?
Yeah, I think it's like 251 or 252. I don't remember the exact number, but it's in that range. And you have everything.
And how long, in your opinion, would it take someone at my level to really develop in this game?
It depends on the person. This game, as far as developing the muscle memory, it depends on how much time you put into it, like, and how you spend that time. If you spend that time playing in Warfare against a bunch of noobs, then it might take you a long time. But if you if you train with me or one of the other teachers, or if you fight people who are challenging you, and even if they consistently beat you, then if you fight people who consistently beat you, then you will improve because you will be forcing yourself to improve. If you're just playing against a bunch of noobs, then you don't force yourself, you don't push yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and
you'll find that DDD, off-screen rock snipes are awesome, and you'll just do it over and over because nobody defends against it, and it's really effective because nobody defends against it. So you need to fight people who defend against those things and force you to think outside of the box and force you to react to those combos that they use. And every time you fight a new person, and once you get to the point where you can hold your own against them or even beat them, then you can move on.
Yeah, and that's mainly what I love about this game is just the complexity, and that's how I felt. Even playing against beginning players on 1v1, I felt like my first 3 duels I was getting my ass kicked, and then I started adapting immediately.
The only thing I don't like about plus shield is it messes up my lemon ball.
Your what?
My lemon ball. There's a... I'll have to show you the trick later. Can't do it with this build. But you can do this.
Oh, is that... Yeah, I think that grab showed me before where he was sending himself outside of the arena.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate like you, Ming Sok, Dat Grab, Dat Bash, all kind of just like came in and really helped me out a lot since yesterday, and I appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right, so you need 9 spells. No. 6? Yeah, 6. So you need basically 6 spells right out the gate that you can go to, and you can mess with them later. But you need a spray, you need a lightning spell, and you need a rock spell. DDD, FDF, SDS, whatever. And then you need a wall, a storm, and a shield. Well, shield's easy. E. But you need to have a go-to for all of those and then build off of that. Because those are your basic attacks, your basic attack forms, and your basic defenses. You need to be able to cast walls or storms and shields. Okay. And you need to be able to switch between those. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack you slowly, and you need to recognize the type of attack that I'm going to use and then block it with its respective block. So, rocks are blocked by walls, lightning are blocked by storms, and beams and sprays are blocked by shields.
Okay, yeah, alright. And it's okay for me to just kind of pick my go-to right now and just kind of build from there?
Yeah, and really, especially with storms, that storms blocking lightning is kind of a returning thing. It was gone for a while, so the meta had changed while it was gone. But from my experience, it doesn't really matter which storm you use. In general practice, as you get advanced, if you can tell what type of lightning somebody's going to use, then the storm can be stronger. But generally, if you're not wet, this is awesome. Or this. This is actually the best as far as blocking lightning. It's impenetrable.
Just plain straight up lightning?
This one's good because it's... Well, ARA go through it, but AFA can't. But EF and ER are just as good for that purpose. Anyway, so whatever you're comfortable using right now, as far as finger positioning, how fast you can do it, just use. What matters is block that spell form with the appropriate defense.
Okay. Alright. So, okay.
Heal.
So, there are... It's not a cover all with walls. There are certain lightnings that will break through certain storms.
It's like walls, yeah. Okay, so EF, AR will go through it.
Okay.
If you have cold in your lightning, it'll cancel the fire in the storm and kill the storm. Even, you know, AEF, ARA will penetrate it. Although, all of the lightning storms are more resistant.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it took me 2 casts to get through that. The lightning storms for blocking lightning are superior, but all of the storms will do it. QEQ is really good.
That QEQ has kind of been my fallback.
Alright, so we're gonna go again. Remember your wall. And back up from your wall or heal.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see me charging the rock?
I can see you. I see you charging it. One of my issues is I'm so focused on what I'm doing at the moment that I sometimes am not paying attention to everything I should be.
Alright, so you don't... That's just the difficulty of muscle. That's what we're working on right now. Alright, so... Interesting. Okay, so... Can you hit E, D, and F all at the same time?
That's the ones that are shaped like L's. Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah. EDF, EDR, yes.
Yeah. Those are the ones I have the most trouble with.
Understandable. Can you do WED?
For some reason, yeah, I don't have a problem with that one.
Because your fingers form it more naturally.
Yeah, they do. For some reason, that one's fine, but the other ones shaped like L's, I have a lot of trouble with.
You're gonna need to master them eventually. WED will serve your purposes for a while. And it heals you, so you don't even have to back up from your wall, nor do you want to. You just cast your wall and heal. In fact, you can do this. So how are you casting the mines?
Mines, I've in the 1v1s, I never really found myself doing the mines except for the heal mines. I'm doing WE and then W.
Okay, right. Are you pushing W and E at the same time?
For the most part, sometimes I catch myself doing WEW, but I'm trying to train myself to do. I'm trying to train myself to do W and E at the same time.
I don't recommend it.
Really?
Yeah. I for spells that have 2 of one element and 1 of another, I recommend, like for WEW, just cast it like that. WEW.
Just like I'm typing.
Yeah. Just do it fast. Just try to cast it as fast as you can. It feels faster.
I do kind of like that,
and you'll remember it better. and it is faster.
Yeah, it does. It does seem a little faster to just do WEW.
Because when you do WE at the same time and then W, you stop.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird. Maybe it's a psychological thing.
Yeah,
but
I do catch my brain kind of pausing for just a microsecond when I do WEW and then W.
yeah.
So I'm glad
But
you
also,
said. I'm glad you said that because if it does feel better to do WEW, but I was stopping myself from doing it.
yeah, it's the most natural way to cast it. Alright, so try casting, this is called the turtle combo, by the way. But try doing that and have the mines ready to cast before you finish raising the wall. If that makes sense.
Okay, that's gonna take a little bit of practice. Give me a little time. I always have to give my brain a second to think about it.
When you know that you're going to cast another spell, like as soon as you cast a spell, you're casting your next spell. Like you don't, as soon as you start casting a spell, you are then typing for the next spell. You don't have to wait. Yeah, that was it. You got it. So, like, I had WEW typed already before I finished casting. Before the wall was fully raised. And you want to do that with, like, all your combos. And it'll just take time practicing them. But most of the time it's just, like I said, there are 250 spells. There's a lot to remember, but your brain retains it pretty easily. Which is one of the reasons that I'm telling you to... You want a wall, you want a storm, you want a shield. And then you want a rock projectile, you want a lightning, and you want a spray or a beam. And you want to go to those. Those are your those are your core spells. Because all the other spells are just basically modifications of those.
Yeah.
Like all the lightnings are pretty much the same. They just have different attributes. All of the rocks are pretty much the same. They just have different damage attributes, and you're modifying them all on the fly.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. That's a good way of thinking about it. So yeah, so just pick a wall, a storm, a form of each type.
I recommend WED. And as far as a storm, QEF. It's awkward to cast. I'm saying this assuming that being wet would be a concern, which it should be. This is safe, right? If you feel comfortable casting that spell, then you should definitely use it because it's one of my weaknesses. Is I never use it, but it's a good blocker, and it does a ton of damage.
So the steams aren't bad then.
Huh?
The steam wall, the steam storms and the steam sprays they're not bad then. I always kind of avoided them because they just didn't seem as powerful as either using fire or water or chill. Wow.
100 damage per tick. Oh, check this out.
And that was QFQ or QFF?
That was QEF. This is, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, QEF.
Alright, so what I just did to you Yeah, that's just AE. If you land it right... Oh, geez, do you have plus Earth?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
And plus Arcane and plus Earth.
Nice. Yeah, you want to be quick on those storms. Alright, so I'm going to attack you again.
Oh my god, see, I'm doing the wrong button presses again.
Don't panic. Don't run around. Just cast what you need to cast.
It seems like you're breaking through that so fast, like so fast.
This is
that was rock,
where
right?
you would want to start using a different wall or ward. Remember, you are plus death.
Yeah, so I'm gonna...
Did you notice what type of rock I was hitting you with?
Yeah, fire. So fire's gonna fuck me up really bad. Yeah.
Right. So that would be when you ward EDF, because then you'd block half of the rock damage, right? And then you would block half of the fire damage, and it would prevent the burn status from being applied to you.
Okay.
However, I'm suggesting that you do this after you're set on fire. And in almost every case, that's when you want to ward fire, is after you're set on fire. Because then, it acts as a buffer for getting chilled. Right, so, light me on fire.
Okay, yeah, I didn't quite understand what you meant by that, but okay.
Alright, so, one tick. Oh wait, no. I'm dumb. I'm not thinking. Do that again.
Okay.
Okay, so now that I'm on fire, it takes 2 ticks of damage from water or cold to actually make me wet or cold because I'm on fire. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, I get it. I do see, okay. Because the first tick is going to just cure the fire.
Right. So basically, it's not that useful for like a storm because they do they tick so fast. But what it's really useful for is projectiles. So if I hit you with this and then you ward fire, then
so you're using their own spell against them in a way.
yeah. Oh, another thing, don't cleanse with self-cast.
Don't cleanse with self-cast, okay.
Right, it's most of the time it's better to ward it unless you're cold. If you're really bad cold, you've got to just cleanse it. But like if you're on fire, don't cleanse it with water. Unless you're gonna hit your opponent.
Okay.
If you're gonna disrupt your opponent with it, then yeah, sure. And then follow up with lightning because that's what you do. Get them wet, you hit them with lightning.
But okay,
Or
so warding against it, is that going to? I'm sorry if this is a really dumb question, but I obviously haven't noticed. If I'm burning and I ward against fire, is that going to stop? That's not going to stop the burn damage, right?
If you half ward it, it won't stop the burn damage. Or it'll have the
It'll
ward.
mitigate.
Okay,
it.
so
Okay.
switch wards. Get a full ward ready. Cast it.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it does. It just stops.
So double ward makes you fully immune, but it doesn't remove the status, and that's the trick.
Okay. So now I see what you're saying. So you're still burning, so it mitigates against chill.
Hey, Trance.
So it's nothing. It's you actually turn it into an advantage for yourself.
Right. Right.
All right.
And as
that is some next level shit, man.
Another thing that you can do is to run forward and just drop a DR or a DF to cancel status effects.
No
So
shit.
if you get wet,
No shit, that's really cool. I don't know if any of my viewers can hear. I don't think they can hear you over the mic, but I hope that they're watching and learning some of this shit.
Oh, yeah. Can they hear me?
I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not sure. Guys, can you hear our conversation via the TeamSpeak? I'm not sure if they can, but oh, they can. Oh, okay, no shit. Is that okay? Argotha?
Wait. Yeah. I mean, okay. I have videos on YouTube. Like I'm not. Well, I originally was a hermit or a recluse, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I've broken out of that a little bit. I don't mind people hearing me.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Anyway.
sorry. Either way, I should have asked you before, we started doing this. Okay, but anyway.
It's cool. I mean, for one, I knew, like, I was watching your stream and trying to get you to come in here, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I expected that they would hear me. Alright, so remember, what do you do?
Okay, so I'm gonna want to... Oh, shit. Not that. Okay, okay.
That works.
It does,
I mean,
it does
for
work,
cleansing
but... Okay, so... When you're set on fire, instead of freaking out and cleansing, just ward for fire.
Right.
And then you'll still have the burning effect.
And half warded is fine. And then you cast the wall. Wards are primarily used for status effects. Or blocking big bursts of damage, like that. If you see mines, you'll want to double ward death, which is not that big a deal for you since you're going plus death. You can just half ward it and you should be fine. But as far as like DED, FEF is sometimes used. Don't ever do this. This is just a bad ward.
What is that? That's RRE? Or RER?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
usually default to what I call my CC ward, which is cold, chill, and E.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes you immune to ice. However, you should be aware that it doesn't make you even resistant to steam. I'm doing
Does a
56
fire ward?
damage to you. No. A half water ward does. See, now you're immune to it.
Okay.
Try just EQ ward. See, now you're taking 28 per tick.
Okay.
So if you're warded ice, it specifically ignores steam damage. It just lets it through. And if you are warded steam, it specifically ignores ice and lets ice through. So if you want to fully block ice, you can't fully block steam as well.
That's good to know. Okay. So basically, yeah, okay. So just avoid a full ice ward. Honestly,
I use it a lot.
Oh, you do?
Because no one's gonna do steam damage to you unless you're up close. The steam ball is a little lackluster, and SQF is not a whole bunch of damage. Alright, that was a trick question. My bad. But yeah, ice, you need to get into... Ice is higher level, and you might not see it for a while. Although that one guy you fought right before we played, he was using ice. He was just spamming it. I'm not sure he was toying with you or what.
Yeah.
But yeah, ice is blockable by walls, but the nature of ice is that it'll pierce walls, which makes it supremely dangerous compared to like fireballs. Fireballs obviously are going to hurt you a lot because you're weak to fire, but ice is also a problem because, like, just cast a wall.
I'm sorry. Cast a wall.
Just cast a wall. Yeah, I still hit you.
Okay.
What happens is I'm shooting 4 shards, 4 ice shards, and then 2 of them are a little bit further ahead. This is just the way ice shards spawn. They just 2 of them spawn slightly ahead of the other 2, and
they break.
They hit the wall before the trailing ones do.
Okay.
And then the trailing ones don't have a wall in their way, so they just hit you. So ice it shreds walls, it pierces walls. And the only way to block it is to either full ward ice, or half ward. If you, like, this ward is going to be really good against ice.
And that's... Okay, so
this is QED.
Oh yeah, QED.
This is a really good one. Excuse me. If you want to, like, spam lightning. Because you can get up in melee-ish range, not worry about getting quaked, and not worry about getting the wet status. And then AFA will cleanse shit.
AFA, okay. So
if you self-cast fire or cold, then you will cleanse that status effect, right? So, like, if you're spraying me with cold...
Okay.
Then I can do this and cleanse the status effect, simultaneously damaging you a lot, because ASF hurts.
So if you are going to do a self cleanse, do it through lightning.
If you're certain that you're not wet, because if you are wet, you're gonna. It just depends. If you're up close, then yeah. I mean, it's generally better than like SFS or. I've been playing around. QFQ is really good, and then this. Takes practice.
Yeah. I'm like a big fire player, so I'm viewing this from like I came into this game viewing it like a MOBA. And I don't think that's the right way to look at this game. If anything, if you have a history in like versus fighting games like Mortal Kombat, that's how.
Yeah, it's definitely a fighting game.
Yeah.
It's
learning
also,
your combos.
Technically, it's a MOBA.
Yeah.
Because it fits what MOBA stands for.
Yeah,
but it
the whole
doesn't
arena
fit
aspect.
It doesn't fit what the genre is seen as. It's seen as Dota and League of Legends and Smite, and it's not any of those.
Which is why I love this game so much. It's so to see the MOBA genre in a different light.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Paradox. They're always doing that with games, and I've always stuck with Paradox. I really like their studios.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the devs of this game. This game is awesome. It really is. It's just I've never played a player versus player game that's felt more fair than this.
Yeah, because you don't have one specific character that is overpowered. You don't have a like in Dota 2 and League of Legends. You don't have the oh my god, what is his name? You don't have a Phantom Lancer that you can CS for 30 minutes and then become unstoppable. and just snowball, because everyone has the same utilities. They just have to know how to use them.
Right. You start with all the tools, and you have all the tools by the end of the game, and no matter how bad you're losing, you can recover.
But yeah, I really appreciate it taking the time out, man. And don't take it as a personal insult if I am not catching on completely right away. Like, sometimes it just takes me... Honestly, when it comes to this game, my mind is in the right place. It's honestly my left hand that really needs to catch up.
Yeah. I know. Dude, I've been there. I did this, right? You know, I had a first day playing Magicka. I had a first week or month playing Magicka. I've been there. I remember it. And like I said, I am a teacher. I've taught. You're not the first guy I've taught, and I've met lots of people who have had difficulties learning. I've met people who learned it really fast, and two of them actually. Ming Ming, the guy that introduced you to me, he's one of them. He learned really fast.
Yeah.
And you know, that's just how some people learn this type of thing faster than others. But there's almost like a specific level at which you're guaranteed to reach, which is basically you're guaranteed to at least eventually reach the point where you can see all the depth in the game. Does that make sense?
No, it does, because when I first started playing, I know exactly what you mean. Like, just the intricacies in the game, just how, like, when I first started playing, it seemed, face value, it seemed really simple, to be honest. It was like, okay, so I mix these spells together, cast them, and they do this. And then I started playing, and once I got a little bit better, I was like, holy shit. There's just so many strategies and counter strategies and into this game. It's brilliant. It's really a brilliant game.
What do you do? What do you do?
To do the, and that's one thing I really gotta stop is the cleansing now. Now that I know that, that's gonna be such a hard habit to break, is the self-cleansing.
Yeah, but remember, cleansing cold, I don't care how you do it. If you are deeply chilled, you need to get rid of that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And self-casting fire, that works. If you're deeply chilled, chances are your opponent is close to you anyway, and you're gonna hit them with fire. The key really is to just get the chill off, because you're going to die when you're that slow. I mean, oh jeez, here, let me get you cold, and then do a quake. I did too.
Do a quake, try to do... Oh yeah, because your cast time gets all fucked up too.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's gotta be a non-fire quake. I was gonna tell you to just ward fire, but... Do it again.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
Can you see how vulnerable you are? You've got to cleanse that fire.
So
man.
ice is really, really good. Like
cold.
Yeah, cold, I'm sorry. Cold.
Some people get on to me because I'm a real stickler about that, but there is a distinction. Ice does a different damage type, than cold. Ice does not apply the status effect.
Yeah.
And if you go plus water, then your ice is stronger, but your cold is weaker. And if you go plus cold, then your cold is stronger, but your ice is weaker, and you're weaker to ice.
Okay, so there's a definite difference.
Yes.
Difference. Okay.
Yeah, so it's important to understand the distinction. And that may be a little misleading what I said. Currently, plus water doesn't do more ice damage, and plus cold does not do less ice damage or steam damage. The resistance to those elements changes, but the damage
User
bonus,
disconnected from your channel.
the damage bonus isn't granted.
Okay.
And that's I don't know, the devs just haven't done it yet. I think they need to, though. Anyway, yeah. Just so you know, if you go plus water, you're not going to have your steam's not going to do more damage. It's just going to have much bigger range. Like crazy range.
Fire doesn't affect steam either?
Correct.
Okay. So then what is going to be, besides range, what is going to be the difference between a QFQ and a FQF?
FQF will do more damage.
It will do, okay.
But QFQ has longer range and gets them wet. And then,
gets them wet.
let's say you ward steam to stop this.
Okay.
Now what do you do?
Die.
Yeah.
Now, when I was doing those quakes, when you were chilling me and I was doing those quakes, that was just at, that was 50% decreased, or does it stack continuously?
What?
Does it get... Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot to press my button. I was just talking and... when I was getting chilled and I was doing those quakes, was that was at 50% decrease, or does it start stacking at any point? And you just get slower and slower and slower?
You get slower and slower.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, do a quake. Just spam quake.
Okay, yeah, that's
Alright, so
really
let's try
good.
it again. So spam quake. See?
That's really good.
Oh, my E ward. My Earth ward wore off. I wasn't paying attention. So yeah. Yeah, I think you just need to practice. You definitely need to get those down. I block rocks with walls. I block lightning with storms. And
yeah, instead of trying to just ward everything.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't, especially if you're outnumbered.
Well, that's actually relieving to hear that, to be honest, because I thought it was a fault with me, where, oh, why am I not fast enough to just ward everything that's thrown at me?
Yeah, and you can't. For one, I mean, you can't ward this. That's ASF. That's lightning, death, and fire damage. It's close range, right? It doesn't have much range, but still, that's a 3-element spell, and you can't ward all of it. You can half ward 2 of those elements. You can ward, let's say AEF, so you protect yourself from the burn and the mini stun and the lightning damage and the fire damage, but you're still going to take full death damage. But that's really the key thing about wards. That's one of their major, the major use for them, especially in higher level play, is you're not so much blocking damage. You're mitigating damage, yes, but you're also protecting yourself against the status effects that are going to disrupt you the most at the time.
Okay.
Or the status effects that you know that your opponents are about to use. So lightning is not used that often compared to the other wards. Most of the time, if you're in close range, you're going to use an ED ward. You're gonna ward rock, and that's because it makes you immune to quakes. And quakes are huge. As soon as you get up into somebody's face, you're gonna use, that was a weird lag spike. You're gonna use a quake, and then you're gonna follow up with something. And so when you get up close to somebody, you want to ward earth so you don't get quaked.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone does it. Everyone wards earth as soon as they get in melee range.
And I noticed that not just quakes, but when you have even a half rock or even a full rock, it stops you from getting pushed around by mines and shit like that.
Yep. If you double war earth, you are immune to mine push, except water mines. Water mines will still knock you up a little bit. Hold on, I gotta pee.
Okay. So water mines will still knock you up. Okay. Wait, what was that? Why did that happen like that? Wait a second, if you... Oh wow, they actually literally work like real mines. If you don't step off of them, you seem okay. I did not know that. I thought as soon as you stepped on them, you were fucked.
Okay, sorry about that. I really had to go.
Now, is there any purpose to what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Like you can throw heal into a lightning spell or a wall or a rock. Like, do those ever actually serve any type of purpose?
Yeah, it's a heal over time. Like you cast it and then you just stand in it.
But it's not also damaging you at all?
Well, it is, but the heal is greater than the damage. Which is why I kept casting it on you and was wondering why. See, my health's not going down.
Okay.
Now, the heal isn't much if you're not warded. Mine's only doing 5, but I'm plus shield, so my life spells are weak. I think it's actually 30. Can't be. Well, no. Yeah, try AWE. Yeah, it's healing me 18.
Okay.
Must have ninja nerfed it. Anyway. Yeah, it's a good spell. You don't see it very often, especially in higher level play, because just AoE death breaks it. But yeah, it's a good spell if you can keep them off. Then you can maintain your mobility while getting small heals and still defending without having to heal. Like, without having to stand still and channel. So you can still defend yourself with attacks, basically.
Okay, so you can actually throw up like a lightning wall, like, you know, like how I was doing that general kind of like lightning defense, or that turtle, where I was doing ward on top of that, but I could do like a... I messed that up, hold on. I could do something like that, and that's gonna protect me from lightning and heal me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons it's a good spell. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to.
Well, I'm
Lightning.
I'm not gonna get too into the advanced stuff yet. Mostly from what I'm gonna take away from this right now is pick one of each type of spell to practice and get used to using those, and then build from there.
As far as rocks, I recommend SDF.
SDF.
Yep. Even though you're plus death. No, SDF.
Now, is there optimal? I'm sorry if I'm asking a lot of questions. Is there a optimal charge time? I mean, and what I mean by that, not like what's going to do the most damage, but what's going to find that kind of middle ground between decent amount of damage and I'm not charging this spell forever.
That takes feeling.
Okay,
just
so
get a feel. All you have to do is hit them with it. Basically, what you want to do is get a feel for how the range is, and then, like, you don't need to charge it all the way up and then overcharge it and get that bonus damage. You just need, like, what you're doing is you're DPSing, if you will. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting you with it as fast as possible.
Okay. So
for one,
instead of doing it as flat
they're
damage,
going to be casting walls, and you want to get that thing to hit them. You want to charge that for as little time as possible, because as people get better, and as you will get better, and better reaction times to somebody doing this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I would have hit a higher level player with that rock. He would have just blocked it, because it was just locked in his muscle memory. He's charging the rock, I cast a wall. It just, you just do it.
And that's kind of the level, at least I want to get to, is where it's where I'm just playing partly on muscle memory and partly on instinct.
Yeah. I mean, you can rely on muscle memory a lot. And it takes, anyway, what my point was that the walls, you want to get this thing in before they cast the wall, which you might not be able to do. But one of the great things about SDF is if you cast EDS or EDF, then SDF will not necessarily break that wall section. If it's charged up enough, it can, but like half charged, it won't. But it'll damage it enough that that piece of the wall will detonate before the other pieces of the wall. So,
that's another thing I didn't know. Okay, cool.
Alright, so just
it weakens the integrity of the wall.
EDS. I did it too much. Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
So, what I was trying to demonstrate was that I broke through, and it works in higher level play, but you hit that middle section of the wall with your SDF, and then you start charging a DDD, and then those two wall sections in the middle break sooner than the player expects them to, and then you hit them with the DDD. It throws them off because they're used to how long the wall is supposed to stay there if it's not messed with.
Yeah, it's in their like subconscious and their
yeah, and it may not last very long. The more I do it, the more people are gonna figure out how to like just pay attention to that. But it's fun right now.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the thing, like, there are lots of strategies that are largely just exploiting things that wizards commonly do. Common reactions. Well, people tend to do this, so I'm just gonna flip everything upside down and do this to them instead. And they won't block it, because they're gonna do this to them.
Yeah, basically the anti-meta.
Yeah. And that's the game. That's how you beat me.
So, going back to the weird button presses, so when you, for example, when you're casting EDF, when I go to cast EDF, I have my ring finger on E, my middle finger on D, and my pointer finger on F.
Yep.
Okay, so that's...
And when you cast EDR, you just move your pointer finger up.
Okay, alright.
But if I cast EDS, my middle finger is on E, my pointer finger is on D, and my ring finger is on S.
Okay, I'm sorry, what was that again?
Okay, when I cast EDS, I have my middle finger on E,
Okay.
my pointer finger on D, and my ring finger on S.
Okay, and like a little triangle. Okay.
Yeah. And that, I mean, you just... The key, it doesn't really matter how you do it. The key is just that you push them all at the same time, and you get your fingers in that position quickly. And, I mean, because not everyone does it the same way I do it. I knew one guy who said he, like, stuck his elbow up into the air to hit that. And I thought that was funny and incredibly awkward.
Yeah, it does straighten out your fingers, though, when you do that. I'll give him that.
Yeah. I don't know, I just learned to twist my wrist. Something. I don't know, I just do it. Just muscle memory, man.
Yeah. And that's gonna be the biggest part, is the biggest part for me is gonna be learning the combos and then going from one combo to the other. Without having to avert my eyes down to my left hand like I've been doing. But hopefully I'm just gonna naturally get better at that. And I can
Alright, I'm gonna teach you one combo.
Okay.
This combo is like... It's just awesome. You have to know this combo. So, it's QRQ, right? So ice with extra water, so it's gonna get them wet. And you're gonna charge it up just a little bit, however however much you need to hit them with it, and then immediately follow up with ASA.
Okay. Oh, because
now,
okay.
That did a lot of damage. That did more damage than normal because you also shocked yourself. But this is how much damage it does.
That's almost half. Yeah, that's almost half.
And you can spam it.
And so you recommend for all the combinations that are and this is for me and for anyone watching, just I want to reiterate a couple things. So all the combinations that are kind of just two elements, like WEW, QRQ, like we were just doing, instead of doing like QR at the same time and then Q, you recommend to just do a quick yeah, a quick QRQ. Like,
yeah, it's da-da-da.
QRQ. Yeah.
And it's just like always put that off element in the middle.
Yeah, instead of doing okay.
Also, I recommend just watching my tutorials. Like as far as all the other guys who didn't get to mess around and practice with us. And I think some of them would benefit you even now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just search my name on YouTube, Argotha, or Wizard Wars tutorials. I'm like the only thing out there.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna I will link your YouTube on my Twitch page, if you don't mind, for everyone that wants to, learn the game a little bit better. But I'll do that probably after the stream. I'll look you up, and I'll probably watch a lot of your videos, and then I'll link you on my Twitch page and let everyone know that, you know, there's tutorial videos available.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. And also, yeah, love Trance Academy.
Oh yeah.
We love new players. I mean, we're just fun, right? We're just gamers. We like to play this game, and we love teaching people how to play this game because it's awesome, and it's just awesome. And teaching new players, it's awesome seeing how quickly they go from being complete stumbling, I don't even know what a ward is, to, you know, what Ming Ming is now. It's great. It's rewarding. And then we get to go run around and play together and stomp the other noobs that for some reason haven't come to us yet.
Yeah, and no, that's perfect. I mean, and a game like this needs, you know, it needs the word of mouth thing going, because Paradox is a smaller studio. They don't have, you know, they don't have Valve backing them, and, you know, League of Legends, you know, all those bigger games. And I really, honestly, to be truthful, I think this game is so much smarter than any of those games, if that's the correct word to use. It's just so much more intelligent, like the way it was put together. And I would love to, you know, plug you guys along with my channel as much as I can. You know, whenever I'm advertising for my channel in Magic or Wizard Wars, just throwing, you know, Trance Academy in there, if you guys wouldn't mind, you know. Because I'm trying to do anything I can to help the community and help it grow. Because I played this game yesterday once, and I instantly fell in love with it.
Yeah, it's like I said, in my opinion, it's the best PvP game ever made.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's so smart and it's so refreshing. It's something new.
I was gonna say something else, I forgot.
Oops.
Oh, okay, so let's see how well you did. We'll finish our group. Oh, by the way, I don't think I ever mentioned it. I think it was implied, but yeah, I'm just gonna explicitly state it. When you start a duel, like an impromptu duel, somebody raises a wall. And then when the wall detonates, that's when you start fighting.
Oh, okay.
It's a tradition that goes back before duel mode was implemented.
Okay, so I mean, even if when I'm doing matchmaking, something like that.
Like, if you're playing with friends, or you see someone... Well, okay, another thing.
So
if
like
you
a
see
pickup
somebody...
game.
Yeah. If you see somebody and you're like, hey, for whatever reason, you know, this match is boring because they're all noobs, or whatever reason, you see somebody that you know, and you're like, hey, why don't we just duel? Because why not? Then just hit them with a low charge WD rock. Like that, and most higher level players know what that means.
Okay, all right.
Some people don't. A lot of people don't. But that's also another old tradition. You just hit them with a rock like that a couple times, and they go, "Oh, he must want to duel." And then when you raise the wall, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this guy wants to duel," and then you duel.
Okay, I got what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
But a lot of people don't really understand that code because there are a lot of new players coming in. So your duel's probably going to get interrupted. But, you know, still it's fun.
Now, is there, again, speaking from a 1v1 fighter like Mortal Kombat, like a player like that's point of view. Now, in a 1v1 duel in this game, is there like a technique to kind of reset, like in Mortal Kombat, like I guess we'd call it like a reset, or like a back to zero, like someone's on you, they are just ultra aggressive. What can I do to kind of just reset the match to like some, you know, like
what, like tap out?
No, like kind of shut down his aggression and catch my breath, you know?
Oh, you mean recover?
Yeah, like a recover. Yeah.
Well, it used to be this. This used to be really strong. This is still pretty good. It can work, but as you get into higher and higher level play, people learn how to counter it. Because it does have a counter. Everything has a counter.
Yeah.
So there's not like just one answer I can give you, really.
Okay.
But
well, yeah, that's
if you do this is a good heal.
Okay.
Right? And another thing is if you drop mines in front of you and stand in a bubble and then heal, when they throw fireballs at you or whatever, they're gonna blow up the WEW mines.
Okay.
There are a lot of little things, a lot of different strategies, but
they'll pick up on along the way.
yeah, I recommend starting with the turtle, because it's, for one, it's a combo, it's fast, it's effective, and like I said, most people don't know how to counter it. WW or WED and then WW, and then you self-cast something. Actually, don't self-cast something. Don't blow it prematurely.
So just to keep it up longer.
Yeah. You do this, and then you just heal. And then when the wall detonates, mine's wonky because I'm plus shield and it changes the angles. But I'm not paying attention to it. I generally blow it because I'm plus shield, which is like my heals. This heal is not as strong, so I generally just blow it because this heal's stronger because I have more mines. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I understand completely. And now, now that you bring up the plus shield thing, again, I'm sorry if I'm asking a lot of questions. It's just because I got viewers, and you know, I'm curious.
Shield OP.
And
stop apologizing. All right, look, you need
I
to
do that a lot.
I am always honest, and I'm very difficult to offend.
All right, well, I want to apologize. I want to apologize for apologizing.
Okay, you should apologize for apologizing. In fact, you should apologize for that apology.
I will, and I'll just
go
into an infinite cycle of apologies and never stop. So you just brought up the plus shield thing, and it reminded me of something. And it's one of those questions where I already know what I want the answer to be, but I'm going to ask it anyway. From what I've heard from some of the more experienced players is that when it comes to builds, default is just best. And I kind of don't want that to be true, because I want to know that there's not just one set way of building or playing the game that's going to be best, if you know what I mean.
Default is master race.
Okay. But
right,
that's not to say that, I mean, there's still...
It's not definitively better than going full on into one affinity or a hybrid into other affinities or whatnot. It's deeper than that. You are a full wizard. You're like a complete wizard. You have all of the spells. None of the spells are weak to you. Like, you have more options. You're more versatile. It's kind of like that.
Okay. So I mean, like, if there's two pro players in a duel that are basically around the same skill level, and one's going default and one is some niche hybrid build, I mean, the default guy is not going to always just beat him hands down.
No. I mean, even then, it's really just skill.
Okay.
The game is skill, man. Some builds are harder to deal with than others. Like plus cold, I hate it. I hate fighting plus cold.
And I can see why.
I think they're broken.
Completely.
And some people disagree. And I think that what it is that some builds just really wreck certain people's playstyles.
Okay, so it comes down to playstyle and skill and...
Yeah.
Because
that's another thing that's cool is we could both be default and we could both have different playstyles.
Yeah.
We're the exact same thing, but we can have different playstyles because there are 250 different spells and there's like thousands of combos. And it's just there's so much taste and personality involved in how you portray yourself in a fight without even getting into wardrobe.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, and that's why I asked, is because you know, I've always been in almost any MOBA type game I've played, I've always been that guy that loves doing those kind of fringe niche builds. You know, I was in League of Legends, I was the one playing like attack speed Annie, you know, shit like that. Like those...
I never went that far, but I did like playing Evelyn mostly because people said she sucked.
Yeah, that's like what I'm talking about, is like people just assume something's bad or it doesn't work, and I've always been that person that's like, well, you know what, I'm going to examine that and see if maybe that's not true. But
Yep.
and I was you know, I immediately picked up this game, and that's why I loved a lot of the different strategy to it. And I was even looking at, like, because they have like a package where they sell like it's like all move speed and you have a gun, and that made me think, okay, so is that like a viable thing, just kind of doing like a auto attack type thing in this game like you can do in other MOBAs?
Okay, the gun is not... The gun's awesome, but you're not just you're not gonna use just the gun. It's a special attack, right? It's just like this.
Okay.
You know, it takes time to charge up the attack, and then you release it.
Okay, so the gun just doesn't shoot as a regular attack, it's a charge attack?
Right. It's a charged attack.
Oh, alright.
And, you know, because it's a weapon, you're rooted to the ground while you're charging it. You're you're vulnerable. Although, I don't want to mislead you, that's really strong.
It's over.
Yeah.
You lose. Well, that seems unnecessary.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but I can't wait to explore this game. I'm really into it. So I appreciate
User disconnected from your channel.
Giving me all these tips. Like you and Ming and Dat Bash have been great. Ever since I started streaming this game, just for 2 days, the community has kind of just come out to me and shown how cool the community is for this game.
I love it. The community is really great. You know there's a way to get out of this, right? Well, not once you're in it. There's not really once you're in it.
So if you are warded, if you are warded...
You gotta be running when you do it, and you gotta just tap it. And you gotta be going in a straight direction. It's very specific, because, like, it's almost like a no charge fireball or water ball is almost just too long of a range to hit you, which is why you need to be moving forward when you do it.
Alright. Now, when it comes to that water spray that you were just doing, I mean, if you're fully warded for water, does that stop the push?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, look.
Okay, and then if I'm rock and water, no, okay.
You gotta be fully warded. But notice that if you're fully warded and I do this, I actually get knocked back.
Really?
Yeah, fully warded.
Oh, that's cool.
And if I just try to push you,
which makes sense. I mean, if you took a fire hose and you sprayed it full power against the wall, it's gonna push back. That's pretty cool. That's actually kind of clever.
alright, so you were saying, like, you want to end?
I'm sorry?
Did you want to end?
Oh, no, it's completely up to you. I mean, if you have anything else that you think I should digest right now, feel free.
So
I mean,
here's just, this is my disclaimer. I have purposely told you more than you should really be able to. I don't reasonably expect you to remember all the stuff that we just covered.
okay.
I just want it to be in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll see other people doing it. And you'll remember those things. And you'll remember why those things work. Generally. And yeah, so it may seem like I flooded your mind with a little bit too much information, and that was sort of on purpose. But just remember, you want to ward, like, don't ward fire unless you're on fire.
Okay.
Ward cold most of the time.
Okay.
Starting out, before you get all the spells in your muscle memory, ward cold all the time.
Now,
Always.
should I be doing cold wet ward for the most part, or a?
Yeah, ice ward is awesome until people figure out how to use steam. Once people will figure out how to, don't ever do that one. I'm telling you that. ERR is just, there's no reason to do it. ER blocks the status effect, and that's the main threat from cold.
Okay, so don't do a full cold ward.
Right.
Okay, so just
Don't
do that.
Yes, that's ice.
Okay. Yes, you're right. Okay, that's what just confused me. I'm sorry. I gotta
That's why-
differentiate between. I gotta think of QR as ice, and R is cold.
Yes.
Okay.
QF is steam.
And Q. That, you know what? That just kind of clicked in my brain. Is
Right?
That actually just clicked in my brain when you said that. To start thinking of the combinations as their own element, as opposed to steam, or QR.
ED is a wall.
Yeah, so like QR, I gotta start thinking of that as ice, and QF.
You should watch my tutorials. The spell forms, I think, will help you conceptualize how all of that works. Although I
Okay.
think I just realized I think I neglected steam. No, I didn't. No, I covered it.
Okay, so
Alright.
so because when I was playing before, especially in the warfare, my default ward was always because I view them as long range wards and close range wards, and that's either I'm using D in it or I'm not. Okay, I don't know if that's the correct way to view it, but that's how I view it.
That's reasonable.
Okay, so my
You
default.
get close, you ward Earth.
Yeah.
You're far away, you don't ward Earth.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was viewing it. But my default was always this, and it just
It's a good ward.
it just seemed like I was getting hit with those two elements constantly. But I have a
Yes.
feeling when I get into a higher level of play, my default ward is definitely going to be mostly this.
Yeah, it's gonna protect you from a lot of shit that's gonna mess you up, especially when you're dealing with your reflexes and your muscle memory and your just general experience with the game, and trying to pay attention to all the wizards that are on the screen while trying to remember. It's confusing at first, so it's good to stick with that ward because it blocks most of the things that give noobs problems. If you get cold, hell, if you're a pro, if you get heavily chilled, you're in a bad spot. And if you get wet, then that, well, I mean, you can shock yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, the big thing with being wet is you can either get chilled super fast, which, as I said, means you're fucked, or you take double damage from lightning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or both.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Or both.
I appreciate.
So that protects you from wet status. You won't get wet, which also indirectly mitigates lightning damage since they can't do these wet. If you see somebody cast lightning on you, they're gonna do this. Almost always, you're gonna see them open up with QRQ before casting their lightning, because just that really quick application of the wet status effect is going to double their lightning damage. So they do it all the time. Everyone does it because it's awesome.
Okay. So that's probably the best way to
Yeah.
apply the wet status is just a quick QRQ.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because I was doing, I was just kind of spraying them, and then I'd do this, and being very unimaginative when I was playing earlier. But
well, that's just, I mean, that you play with the simple spells and figure out how they work. It's just how, just how you do things. But QRQ is, it's great because, all right. So here's the advantage. QRQ, I can do that. You're wet. QQQ. Now I just right-clicked and let go immediately, just as fast as I did when I threw QRQ. There was a much smaller time commitment when casting QRQ than there is when casting QQQ.
yeah, okay.
You're stuck in that water channel longer than you're stuck in the dropping ice shards at your feet.
And it's pushing the opponents away, so you can't really get in there with lightning.
Right,
as
because when you
effectively.
do this, sometimes
They can just
and
keep
this
moving.
has to do with like lag and shit, which sucks, but we got to deal with it for now. But if you do that, especially if you do QQQ and then you open up and then you do ASA, if they're like moving away, then sometimes ASA won't even hit them
Yeah.
because the water pushed them too far. QRQ is just for opening up before lightning. QRQ is generally better. If they're warded earth, then this is really good because, as you noticed earlier, if you're warded earth, you take less water push.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not pushed as far. Yeah, I just walked with you about half the map because you were awarded that.
Okay, so you got to know when to use your opponent's defenses against them correctly.
Yeah.
When to use their offensive spells against them correctly, like that whole thing with fire. Don't ward fire until after you're hit with fire, and then that's
Right.
gonna help mitigate.
Hey, just stand right there.
Okay,
I love this move.
that's cool. Wouldn't that be more efficient with water mines?
It'll knock you up. Now, if you're doing this, then yeah.
Okay, cool.
But you'd have to be warded this, which generally is...
Rare.
It's an awesome ward. You're in even just mid-level play, you're gonna need to have that one. You're gonna need QEQ. You have to have it.
In the back
because, alright, so I cast a wall. It pushes you back. What do you do?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Wait, actually, I don't think I
taught
taught you. You double ward Earth, and you QFQ to get through. Right? So cast a wall. Just
Okay.
cast it over and over. Right? I'm in your wall. You're not pushing me because I'm warded Earth and I'm immune to the push. So, what do?
What do I do in response to you coming through? What do I do in response to you coming through my wall?
Yeah.
Me, as at my level right now, I would probably, if you came in and pushed through my wall, I'd probably end up doing something like that or that. But you're warded. Oh, but you're warded Earth. Yeah. Okay.
Right. This is what you do.
Okay. You just push them away.
Yeah. So they get through your wall, then just throw mines and spray them away. It'll heal
Okay.
you, and it pushes them a lot further than just using QQQ. It's also fun.
That is okay.
But you gotta be, like, already warded Earth to do that. Otherwise, you could do this.
Okay.
It's more effective if you're not plus 50 shield. I'm noticing, I've only been playing with full shield for a couple days, and I'm noticing that, like, this is really cool, having a full 180 degree protection, particularly with walls and storms.
Yeah.
But when I start doing things like this, I notice that the angle is slightly different. That's why the mines. Yeah, I can't actually. I have to be really careful to do this and actually be out of my mine range.
Oh, you have to make sure you're walking straight directly back and not at like a diagonal angle.
Yeah, because like these reach back further than what I'm used to. Just these four. That's, you know, I did that combo, which is a pretty core combo to the game, or it used to be. You don't see it necessarily much anymore. It's still really strong. I just don't see anyone relying on it.
Now, in a game like this, where why would the meta like that change? Like, what would cause the meta to change like that? If
Balance changes.
just little balance changes. Okay.
Yeah, mostly. Like I don't know. It opened other things up back then. It opened other attacks up, and then that became less prominent. And then everyone started using the new cool way to hit people, and then that way started to fade or be used less often. Like, it's perfectly effective.
And then that's what causes it to come back again, because people stop using it, so people stop countering it, so people can start using it again until people start countering it again.
Yeah.
It's just like a...
It is really easy to counter, though. I mean, people drop mines all the time. They usually do it just point blank and just do SFS. Like that.
Yeah, so, Ming, you know, he showed me a couple, he sent me a couple, Ming and Dat Bash showed me a couple, you know, they mentioned, the mines, and then, like, it's a flamethrower.
It's a good skill to practice.
Yeah, and then,
it's definitely a combo that you should try to become proficient at, because it teaches you a lot of things in one thing, right? Yeah. For one, SES mines, it's a spell that you definitely want to have in your arsenal because it's strong. It's very strong burst damage. It's like if somebody's spamming lightning at you, they normally don't ward lightning. right? They normally don't double ward lightning to block your lightning. They'll just cast a storm. But if somebody... Sorry. If somebody drops mines at your feet, they almost always ward death. They'll double ward it every time.
Okay.
Except me, because I'm plus 50 shit. I tank that shit.
And then they were showing me something about something with mines. It was hold on a second. It was knocking. It was like a little. Let me find it. I have a ton of stuff written down. Knocking them down with SES, and then following up. Knocking them down with SES, and then following up with, what was it, SDF self-cast into, like, auto attacks, shit like that. I can't find the page, but it was, like, something like that. But I'm not going to really ask you to get into the advanced combos with me right now. I understand that you can't, like, download the whole game into my brain in one sitting. But,
give it time. Our technology will get there. We might not be alive by then, but hey.
yeah, like, you know, just the whole Matrix thing, just
Yeah.
strap in and just learn the game. But,
yeah, you just need, now, you know what you need to do, and you just need to practice. And, you know, go fight other wizards.
yeah. I appreciate the tips and the help. I understand, you know, you showed me more than I'm gonna absorb immediately, but the cores, I mean, I'm smart enough to understand that the cores that I'm gonna take away from this are gonna be, you know, like you said, pick a kind of a default of each type of spell to learn how to counter, you know, a wall for lightning, walls
Right.
for rocks. Get those
Focus
down
on blocking the spells with external defenses.
Yeah,
Shield,
yeah.
storms, walls. And then focus on warding the status effects that are most likely going to hit you.
Yeah.
If you're already on fire, then you would half ward fire because you're on fire, right? That's a status effect, you prevent it. Your
Yes.
melee range, you ward earth because you don't want to get quaked. If you're long range, then you'll ward well, whatever. Probably ice, because it's just an awesome ward.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that was a big thing I was doing. So I got to stop viewing wards as the cure-all, answer-all, and start
Right.
learning to use external defenses,
Right.
and then build from there, I think. And then everything else you showed me is probably going to sit in my subconscious, and I'm probably going to see other people doing it and the way they're doing it in game and be like, oh, okay. And it's going to start clicking. I hope.
One last thing to stuff in your subconscious.
Is okay. Breaking your own walls with lightning.
Yep. Similar, you can do that, but the first thing I showed you is far more practical. You're not noticing what I'm doing first.
I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
I told
because
you what
my
I
lightning
always
is-
do before I cast lightning.
You make sure that you get them wet.
With
Ice and not
QRQ.
QRQ, ice.
Oh, crap. You got me. So what I was doing was I was breaking
ice.
through my wall. Well, actually, the key, what you were doing was you were just using lightning. You don't want to use just pure lightning unless you need that. You need like that full range.
Okay.
So throw something else in there. So AFA, ARA, or ASA. And generally that's what you want. You want 2 A's and 1 of the other thing.
Okay.
Because that mid-range, that range of 2 lightnings in a spell is the most practical of the ranges. Especially if you're doing this.
Okay.
But yeah, it's called, I call it the snapping turtle. And
you turtling
I have
up
a
and then
tutorial on
biting.
that.
That's actually a really clever name. That instantly made sense when you said that. Okay, so are you getting them wet before you cast the wall or right before the lightning?
Right before the lightning.
Right before
always.
the lightning. Okay.
Like,
all right, cool.
And that's another thing. It's like you're combining backloaded burst with front-loaded burst. So you have a whole bunch of burst at one spot. Just a whole bunch of burst damage.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna write that down. I got a lot. I'm actually really excited now. I feel like
There's tons of stuff.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of different spells.
There really is. It's exciting.
It is. I'm glad that you're excited. All right, so I'm tired. So we gotta wrap this up.
Oh, yeah, that's
go
completely fine. That's completely fine.
So, let's just do it like normal and see how you do.
Oh, come on.
I'll be nice-ish.
Over.
What?
What did you forget to do?
Nobody puts
I forgot to put my cigarette down in time to start the duel.
Wait, what? Really? My wife won't let me smoke in the house.
You know what? I am not supposed to be, but I'm upstairs in my own little studio, and I'm not even supposed to be smoking, but ever since I started this stream, I've been smoking like a chimney for some reason.
Oh wait, before we do this, okay. What you forgot to do was ward cold.
Okay.
You weren't warded at all, in fact.
I think I meant to word cold, and then I accidentally...
You're running around. You never just run around.
You don't want to just keep moving?
Lose. Is
No,
this
it's
the end?
I'm gonna hit you anyway.
Nobody puts wizard
Right,
in a corner. Lesson
There's a little bit of lag that makes it so that you might be able to dodge my rocks, which has gotten a lot better recently due to the netcode fix specifically for that. But by and large, it's not useful. Besides, I use this.
Yeah, my reaction times are nowhere near being able to compete at your level yet.
You lost.
Well, as far as the reaction time, I don't think it's necessarily your lack of reaction time. I think it is but it's just your muscle memory.
Yeah.
Right? So the high level play is intense. I mean, I recommend you watching a little bit of it. But what happens is for what's happening with you right now, and like I said, I've been there and understand, is that your mind is consumed with casting a spell,
as opposed to just having it as just muscle memory reaction. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like if you had to think about moving every single muscle for walking.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of motion that goes on in your legs to make walk. to make walking happen. It's called locomotion for a reason. But we don't think about it, right? It's just there. It's just, we just have it. We just do it, and we don't think about it. And that's what you will develop by just playing.
Yeah.
You'll just have all 250 spells eventually. It took me a while for a few of the oddball ones that I didn't use very often, because you don't use them very often. But all the ones that you use all the time, you're just gonna cast them, because I'm gonna cast that spell right now, just instantly. It's great. It's so awesome. I love this game.
It is. I
just love everything about it.
I really do. I've really fallen in love with this game. I want to be able to stream this game, and I just like the way the community has reached out ever since I started streaming and helped me with the game, and I'm overwhelmed with how great the community is. I appreciate everything you did for me tonight. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna practice and practice and practice.
Again, you're welcome. I don't know. I can't shut up. But one of my friends said the other night that Magicka is like martial arts, and I thought that was a really awesome analogy. I thought it was quite accurate. Like, if you go to a dojo and you practice this art, right? Or not just an art, a discipline. You are practicing a discipline.
Yeah, even more so, and that's how I used to view like Mortal Kombat and like Street Fighter, and I was like, oh, you know, this is like practicing, you know, like a martial art for your brain basically and your fingers, but like this is nothing compared to those games. There's so much more so many more mechanics and so much more to remember. It's like candy for my brain. It really is. But I'm gonna when I get around to doing video editing and get my YouTube channel up and running and I'm put all this shit up, I'm gonna, you know, label these as like learning the basics with how do you pronounce your name again?
Which name?
Your name.
Argotha?
Oh, wait, what?
Argotha?
Who's saying? Everyone calls me Argotha. I don't know why.
I can't
it's
pronounce
like,
your name.
but it's Argotha.
Argotha. Okay. Argotha.
Yeah.
I got it.
If you
No,
watch
it's
my
Argotha.
tutorials, you will know it's Argotha. I say it at the beginning of every single video. Still, everyone calls me Argotha.
Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
I can't do you. Too late. Bedtime.
All right, but yeah, you get to bed, and for the viewers out there, for the viewers in the room, thank you for sticking around and learning with me. We were streaming with Trance Academy, Argotha from Trance Academy, and he's teaching me a lot of shit when it comes to Magical Wizard Wars, and I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope you guys enjoy watching. But Argotha, you should get to sleep. And again, thank you.
Again, you're welcome, and join Trance Academy, and yeah.
All right.
Good night.
Yeah. Good night. I'll definitely be
Good
checking
night.
out Trance Academy and all that stuff. All right. I'll see you. I'll see you around.
Good night,
User
Argotha.
disconnected from your channel.
Argotha.
Argotha.
All right, guys. That was me training. I don't want to
Can
say
you guys hear me?
training. Yeah, I can hear you. Is this Tiffer, Ming? Who's speaking?
It was
Trance.
Trance.
It's really quiet.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I hear Trance and I hear Ming. Okay.
Yep.
All right, again, to any of the viewers that came into the room, I've seen a lot a lot of people coming in while I was, I don't want to say training, getting taught a lot of the basics with Argotha from Trance Academy. He helped me view the game a little bit differently, and kind of gave me a starting point, if you will, to launch from getting better at the game. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. I'm going to try to post this stuff on YouTube, and I'm going to be linking Trance Academy's TeamSpeak and websites and YouTubes into my Twitch channel for anyone who wants to learn. But now I think I'm going to do maybe a few more matches of Warfare and see if I can implement everything I learned tonight into some matches.